Hey everyone, it's Neil Patel, and today is another day of SEO Unlocked. Today, we're going to be covering branding and methodologies. So, what is a brand? Well, according to Elon Musk, a brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. Sometimes it'll be ahead, other times it'll be behind, but brand is simply a collective impression some have about a product. Now, I want you to think about these brands on the screen: Coca-Cola, Nike, Apple, McDonald's. What do you think about them? Well, when you look at McDonald's, family, happy, speed. When I was a kid, I loved their Happy Meals. It definitely did make me happy. Nike, achievement, sport, inspiration. Just do it, right? With Nike, they really push you forward. And when I think about that brand, it's just like, all right, that's a great brand if you're into sports, anything athletic, running. People know that, hey, if you want shoes for basketball or any sport, you just go with Nike. And Neil Patel, I may be known for marketing, also sharing, growth, advice, SEO. The list goes on and on. It all comes down to your brand story. What are people going to say about your brand? How do they see it? If they had to read about it in a book, what would they say? And you're probably wondering, well, how do I find what my brand story is? It really comes down to four main elements. What does your brand say about itself? What your brand does in the world? What others believe and say about your brand? And how others interact with your brand. A brand is built over time with consistency of message. The more you push across your message, the easier it is to get all of those four elements right. Branding is more than just trying to figure out how you define your brand. It really comes down to how are you going to produce your brand, your story, your messaging. It all intertwines with each other, because if it doesn't intertwine with each other well, you're going to have inconsistent messaging, and then consumers or potential consumers are going to be confused. So I want to make sure that you go through the following exercises. That way you can set your brand up the right way from day one. You need to discover your unique solution for your market. And we have a sheet that'll help you do this. Technically, 2 sheets. You need to first start off with the unique selling proposition and unique value proposition worksheet. You can go to neilpatel.com/training, click on SEO Unlocked, and under this video, you'll find that worksheet. Fill it out, go through it step by step. Another worksheet that I want you to go through is your bigger contribution, and you'll see it in the same place. When you go through these 2 things, it'll help you set up your brand correctly from day one. Another important aspect is to see how your competition positions themselves. I want you to use tools like Facebook's ad library or what runs where to see what your competition's doing and what ads they're running. Even go to their website, sign up with your email address or a dummy email if you want. Check out their landing pages, read their emails, attend their sales calls, their webinars, their whole marketing collateral. This will all give you an idea of what's working and what's not working. That way you can start changing the system. Because if you're seeing what your competition's doing, most people just copy them. I don't want you to do that. You need to buck this system. You need to start thinking of yourself on how you can stand out from your competition. What can you do that's unique? How can you position yourself in a different way? And when you do that, you're much more likely to have an effective brand that people love. And that gets us into deploying your brand. So with deploying your brand, the first step is to do the exercises. If you do the exercises and download the worksheets, you'll have a whole list of insights. And you can use those insights throughout things like your SEO, your title tags, your sales copy, your website design, even your product design or your sales calls. It's important to do it in areas that are not just marketing related. The reason being is your brand changes from everything from customer support to sales to emails to videos. It all needs to align. The moment it doesn't align, that's where you're going to see things break. Think of every interaction, everything in your business as an experience for the customer or client. Opening up a box, a package that was shipped to them, opening up a sales letter, watching a video, even seeing an ad on TV or speaking to someone on the phone. This is all how people interact with your brand, and it affects their perception of it. The reason the experience is really important is because it affects pricing. And most people want to charge premium prices. And the way you do that is by creating amazing experience and relationship with not just your customers, but how your customers interact and engage with your products or services. That's how you can be the premium price brand and have the most amount of profit. Because by higher prices and the same amount of customers, it helps increase your profit margins. And it'll also help increase the demand. It'll also help decrease the price resistance of people being like, you're too expensive. Because when people love your brand like they do with Apple products, you don't really hear them say, Apple iPhones are too expensive. Well, even if they think that, for some reason, they're still buying Apple iPhones. Why? Because of how their experience is with Apple products and the brand. So at this point, I want you to go to neilpatel.com/training and click on SEO Unlocked. And underneath this video, you'll find these 3 worksheets, from filling out the bigger contribution worksheet to crafting your unique selling proposition and value proposition to filling out your offer worksheet. So make sure you do that so that way you're going to be prepared for the last lesson in SEO Unlocked. I look forward to helping you get loved by Google.